Hey there! I'm glad you're here. Ready to learn some pretty cool things? Let me know which ones you liked best in the comments afterward. Okay, let's do this. Have you ever wondered why men are often older in relationships? It's a question that intrigues romantics and gossip columnists alike. Research suggests it may be linked to differences in biological maturity and brain development. Women tend to mature earlier than men, which can lead to a preference for a partner who is more emotionally and physically mature. Also, different parts of the brain mature at different rates in men and women, and these differences could contribute to the age gap preferences as well. Looking to get a new pet? How about a ferret? These beloved creatures are highly favored as pets in households around the world. While they may not be as common as dogs or cats, they have gained significant popularity as fun-loving companions due to their playful personalities, adaptability, and intelligence. Would you believe that the wheel wasn't invented for transportation? It's believed that the ancient Mesopotamians invented the wheel initially for pottery, before it was used for transportation. Want some proof? The oldest evidence of the wheel dates back to around 4000 to 4200 BC and was used for making pottery. Wheeled vehicles, like carts and chariots, emerged later, around 3500 to 3350 BC. How about this one for thought? If the Earth, while maintaining its density, suddenly doubled in size, then all of the trees would topple over. Why? It's because the increase in mass would lead to a stronger gravitational pull on the surface. Existing trees would have to support a greater weight in a world with stronger gravity, and this stronger pull would make it much harder for trees to support themselves, potentially causing them to collapse. And there you have it. A snowstorm with thunder and lightning? Yes. It's a rare phenomenon, but it's called a thundersnow. It occurs when a thunderstorm produces snow instead of rain. Thunderstorms typically need warm, moist air to fuel the convection, or upward air movement, that creates them. So with that, having the right combination of strong convection and freezing temperatures at the same time is relatively infrequent. America is nearly 250 years old, while Native American tribes were in North America long before that. The time frames between the two are vast. Native American tribes have inhabited North America for tens of thousands of years, with archaeological and genetic evidence suggesting human presence dating back at least 23,000 years. This highlights the long and complex history of indigenous people on the continent that predates the formation of the United States.
Not all ancient gladiators were male. In fact, female gladiators, known as gladiatrix by modern scholars, existed in ancient Rome, though they were rare compared to males. There is strong evidence of female gladiators in art, laws, and written accounts. For example, Roman historians Cassius Dio and Tacitus wrote about female gladiators in the 1st century BC, and during the reigns of emperors Nero, Titus, and Domitian. The first celebrity chef focused on plate presentation. Marie-Antoine Carême, who lived from 1784 to 1833, is considered the first celebrity chef. Carême was one of the first modern chefs to focus on the appearance of food presentation. He presented dishes in the shapes of pyramids, waterfalls, and famous monuments. He also emphasized complementary flavors and pairings in presentations, and was one of the first chefs to reduce the size of portions, especially for large banquets. A double sunrise flight once existed. What I mean is, Qantas Airlines from 1943 to 1945 used to operate a flight from Australia to Sri Lanka, where passengers could see the sunrise twice. This so-called double sunrise service often lasted over 30 hours, with passengers seeing the sunrise twice. 1943, by the way, was in the middle of the Second World War. This might not surprise you, but Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister during World War II, was a very heavy smoker. He smoked throughout the day, including during work, meals, and meetings. Churchill's smoking habit was so great that his wife Clementine designed a bib for him to wear in bed to prevent him from burning his pajamas. Good for her. Plants grow faster with sounds around them. Plants can't hear sound like humans, but they can feel vibrations from sound waves. These vibrations are similar to those caused by wind, water, animals, and insects in nature. More specifically, sound waves increase the rate of transportation within plant cells and stimulate the opening of leaf stomata. The longest official name for any country in the world is that of the UK, also known as the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The UK is made up of multiple smaller countries in its region, including England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
The phrase computer bug originates from a literal insect malfunction. No kidding. In 1947, Grace Hopper and her team at Harvard University discovered a moth stuck in a relay of the Mark II computer, causing it to malfunction. They taped the moth into the logbook, labeling it First Actual Case of Bug Being Found. This event solidified the term bug as a reference for errors in computer systems, leading to the term debugging for the process of fixing them. So next time your computer acts up, you can thank a little moth for its role in tech history. This next one gets a little sciencey, so hang with me. Did you know that the temperature at which a liquid boils isn't fixed? It actually depends on the surrounding atmospheric pressure. At sea level, where the atmospheric pressure is higher, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. But if you're on a mountaintop, where the pressure is lower, water boils at a lower temperature. Lower pressure means molecules need less energy to escape into the air, so they boil at a lower temperature. This is why you might notice your pasta taking longer to cook at high altitudes. Alrighty then. Next. Imagine a world where the only colors on your TV were shades of black and white. Hard to picture, right? Well, thanks to the genius of a Mexican inventor, Guillermo González Camarena was a man well ahead of his time. In 1940, González Camarena invented a revolutionary color television system. It was known as the trichromatic sequential field system and was a breakthrough that allowed televisions to display images in color rather than black and white. His work paved the way for future innovations in television technology that we know today. And speaking of Mexican history, do you know why we celebrate the 5th of May or Cinco de Mayo? Interestingly, many don't. It commemorates the Battle of Puebla, fought on May 5, 1862, and marks the unlikely victory of the Mexican army over French forces. But here's the twist. While it's a significant day in Mexican history, Cinco de Mayo is actually celebrated more in the United States than in Mexico. Why? In the U.S., more so than anywhere else, it has evolved into a grand celebration of Mexican culture and heritage, especially among Mexican-American communities. In the sands of Egypt, 1922 marked a momentous discovery: the unearthing of King Tutankhamun's tomb by archaeologist Howard Carter and his team. But this historic find soon became shrouded in mystery and fear. The untimely deaths of several expedition members shortly after the discovery fueled rumors, with many believing that disturbing the young pharaoh's resting place had unleashed a terrible curse. While there's no scientific evidence to support the existence of a supernatural curse, some scientists propose that the deaths could have been linked to exposure to various toxins within the tomb. Did you know that France is the country with the most time zones in the world? Yep, you heard it right. France spans an incredible 12 time zones. Yes, 12. While mainland France is in Central European time, the country also includes several overseas regions and territories scattered across the globe. From the Caribbean islands like Guadeloupe and Martinique to the Pacific gems of French Polynesia and New Caledonia, Each territory operates in its local time zone. How about that? I'm curious now. Did you know any of those, or have any comments or questions? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one.